Welcome to the Hustle Skirt Podcast, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone, every day, with your host, Debra Gould. Yes, I am Debra Washington Gould, President and CEO of Debra Gould and Associate Inc. is a New Orleans-based firm founded in 1996, and my services are in management consulting and performance management. Please visit my website at www.gouldassociates.com, where you can learn more about my professional service offerings in management consulting, executive coaching, training, facilitating, surveys, and assessment. With that being said, let me take a moment to tell you about the Hustle Skirt. You may be a first timer because you know that my guest, Kathy Cobette Saloy, is going to be interviewed today. And so this might be a very first time for you. So I'd like to take a moment to tell you the mission of Hustle Skirt Podcast is to promote, communicate, and amplify the influence of men and women, entrepreneurs like our guest today, who are for profit businesses or a C suite higher executive with a corporation or nonprofit corporation. That's the mission of why we exist. The meaning of the hustle skirt is something that I see in a positive way. As you hear throughout this interview with my guest, Kathy Cobette Saloy, you will hear myself and in her voice share information about believe in yourself. Don't take no for an answer. Be confident and self-assured. Be an encourager. Stay focused. Be courageous. It's the words that you will hear throughout the interview. It's about become, being, and be the very best you. You can't be what you can't see. So with that being said, another big idea of why the hustle skirt exists. My desire is bigger and greater than my fears. Do what you imagine possible. Do the hard things. Don't just settle for taking the easy road in life. Do the hard things. I'm a challenger. I'm a communicator. I'm a contributor. And so the vision of the hustle skirt is to bring before you dynamic people like Kathy Cobette Saloy. So with that being said, Kathy is a friend. She is one of my sorority sisters. She is an influencer, and very few times I've had the opportunity to say how much I admire her leadership. She is truly a true leader. And her impact in everything she's doing, she touched the business community. She has a unique and nurturing relationship with her sorority and just who she show up to be. And so I feel like I like Deborah Ann when I'm in the same space with Kathy. So that's the Kathy that I know and appreciate. But to give her a proper introduction, her credentials, give me a moment to share that with this audience. So today, my guest interviewed person is Kathy Cobette Saloy, retired as a senior vice president of community and economic development market leader. The company, Louisiana and Mississippi Gulf Coast for Hope Enterprise Corporation. I will let Kathy share her information in terms of her contact information. But to say more about this phenomenal woman, I just shared that recently she's retired as a senior vice president of community and economic development market leader for the Louisiana and Mississippi Gulf Coast for Hope Enterprise Corporation. She focused on asset building strategies and facilitates investments in community infrastructure, including fresh food retailers, charter schools, affordable housing, and other community facilities. With Hope resources and expertise that she brings to the table, she has a seat at the table, ladies and gentlemen. In the role, she managed structures and leads the organization business development, financing, and debt associated with specialized sources. Kathy has facilitated the Fresh Food Retail Initiative in New Orleans for CDFI funds, Goldman Sachs, and others. The thing that's remarkable about Kathy and the impact we all experienced during COVID, she was a true leader, very instrumental in promoting and processing Paycheck Protection Program PPP application. If you are a small Lloyd's business, you know what those three P's stands for. And she was very instrumental in the New Orleans business community. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my friend, entrepreneur, retired senior vice president. Hey, hello, Kathy.
Hello, Debra. Thank you so much.
I
And
had to tell it. I had to tell it just like that. I want folks to know about the credential of this amazing woman. You
I
truly an
absolutely
inspiration.
appreciate that. I appreciate that introduction. Happy to
So,
be
but
here talking to you today.
so my guests always know that Deborah Ann is going to come with a general, specific, and a fun question. So tighten up your seatbelt. Let's do this, Kathy. Let's have fun
Let's,
because I
let's do
know that you will inspire, you will be informational, and your influence will help someone through your message today. So here we go. What's your story behind your business or career aspiration? Tell it all, Kathy.
All right, so here we go. Starting a business is not something that I aspired to do. Being a leader was always something that I had a vision to be. So I have always had a girl get it done disposition. And I think that comes from I am number 10 of 12 siblings, right? And so we had to be creative. Um, I was so being number 10, I had to be the follower a lot, that I just desired to lead and do my own thing and have my own voice. I always knew that I wanted to be in the financial industry. There was something about the financial industry. So my 40-year career has always been in finances, and every single job that I've had, even if I didn't start out in a leadership role, it didn't take long for me to get there. Just doing the right thing, being persistent. I always had that vision of leading, and it landed in the financial industry. So I was at a major bank. First, I started off at a credit union, and that was great. That was a great start. I did lending, and then I also did some business development training. That's when I got the opportunity to work with members, to work with small businesses, and to help them to plant that seed and to grow and to nurture whatever their financial desire was, if that was with that business. Then I took that to a larger bank, Hibernia, Capital One. And in doing that, just working with individuals, working with families, working with businesses, um, I started thinking about, well, if I had a business, what could that be? And then, probably 15 years into it, my husband and I were fine financially, but it's never enough. And so I started thinking about family, college, other investments. And so I started investing in real estate. And I'm saying that because whatever position you're in, you need to always be looking for what are those other opportunities. Even if you're self-employed, what are the things that are happening around me and in my environment? And how can I make the best of that and help someone along the way? Also, in that particular role, in helping families, I thought of being a notary and what that would mean. Again, that was generating more income, that was helping individuals. And what really sparked it is when I understood that notaries can assist. We're not attorneys. So I can't give you legal advice. I won't give you legal advice. That's up to the attorneys, but I can help you with some succession planning. And that is something that is, I have seen the detriment to the relationship of families by not having some plan. And so organically, these businesses have grown. And I'm going to grow that notary business even more now that I'm retired. Something else that came out of it that you don't realize, your professional services and what you have to offer. I retired 6 months ago, but I haven't really retired because I instantly started consulting. I didn't realize that was going to happen, but someone tapped on me for my professional experience and said, can you continue to help? And so I have these different areas of business going on, and they just happen behind my passion, my desire to help individuals, and to make an impact in this community that I live in.
Ooh, thank you for sharing that with my audience. Notary, 6 months out of retirement, and here you are, you're consulting. That's you. That's you, Kathy, the leader that you are. Okay, that was a great start. Let me go with another question for our audience to really benefit from this particular interview. What qualities do you think every entrepreneur or career professional should possess?
Of course. So I think you start with a vision, right? So just like some of these businesses that I am venturing into, they kind of happen because of what I was involved in and how I wanted to take it in another direction. So you don't have to be the most creative person. You do have to have that desire. You do have to have a vision. And so with that, you have to have some grit, you have to have some drive, you have to put that into it. You have to be understanding and open to what's going on in the environment around you, because you want to start a business that's going to be attractive. Your products and services need to be attractive because the bottom line is they need to sell. Somebody needs to take advantage of that. And so it's really important. And when I say you need to understand what's going on in the economy, some people feel intimidated by that. But let's just take, for example, COVID. When COVID happened, I don't think anybody, when we started hearing about that in, 2020, right around Mardi Gras, right after Mardi Gras, the impact that it would have on everyone, the economy, housing, small businesses. So understanding what's happening economically and what's happening in maybe your particular industry is really important. So
Yes.
always keeping your ears open, always staying educated in that particular industry is very, very important.
The word
I
industry comes up a lot. You had a desire around finance, so you launched your
exactly.
career around the financial industry. But I'm going to have a pause because I think it's important that all these nuggets that you're giving us, people know how to reach Kathy Cobette Saloy. And if there's a name to this new leap, giant leap that you're taking, please share that at this moment with our audience. So if there's a company name,
So
if there's an
so at
email
this
or website, a telephone
yeah.
number, please share it with us.
So at this point, you can just contact me directly. My phone number is area code 504-495-8130. And my email address is KACOSALOY@gmail.com.
Thank you for sharing that with our audience. I have one final question for you, Kathy, and then I would like to have you repeat that contact information just in case, depending on where people may have jumped into the interview today. What's your favorite? Now, this should be a fun question. What's your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur or successful leader? What's that favorite aspect?
The favorite aspect. I think, just the fact that one thing for me is just having the ability to make an impact and to help someone. Being in finance, you have to have a lot of candid and confidential information, conversations, right? I think I possess some pretty good emotional intelligence, And so if someone asked me a question about their business, about what they should do, had a friend to call me today about a situation, just being able to be candid with people, but
And
professional. So I think that comes into communication as well. I think that is really key. Sometimes you have to hear the hard stuff, but then you need to be complimented on the positive stuff too. So I don't know if that's really what you're looking for, but I think
that was
that
excellent
part
because
is really,
I think
really important.
even in my business in the executive coaching, sometimes the candid conversation help people to give them a different perspective and that they trust you enough to open up and say it to them.
Yep.
Because, the person that may have called you today, uh, they could have been staying in a decision that was going to be quite a risk, but they trust you and it was okay with you being candid. So those are some good words you just shared. So we're going to take another moment to share that contact information, Kathy. And if there's any mindful moment that you would like to leave with our audience in terms of projects you're working on, events, or how to stay tuned in and be on the lookout for Kathy Saloy. Is there
So I
anything you'd
think
like
we're
to
we're
leave with
we're
our
loading.
audience?
Yeah, we're loading Saloy Professional Services LLC. That's still in the making. I just, encourage you, as I am doing for myself, to look at what your qualities are, look at what your leadership skills are, and where you want to direct them, and bring that positive energy out in the best way, to help others, to form that business, to be creative and to have fun. Because at this retired point, it's about helping others, but it's about having fun too.
And that's what it's all about for me. This whole platform of the hustle skirt is to be able to reach back to those individuals who has been an inspiration, part of my tribe, and say, what can I do for all the folks that have helped me along the way? Create a platform that will showcase their talents, their skills, and what they're passionate about. You know, in the private and public sectors, we're always saying as an MBE or WBE or DBE, we can't find some of these professional services or construction services or services like catering or security services. Well, I want to create this platform to say, start here. There's a lot of other places, but I want the world to know about individuals like the Kathy Cobette Saloy. So at this moment, we're going to close out. But this was a great interview, Kathy. You just don't know how thankful and grateful that I am that I get to showcase my friend who is up to great things. And I knew you were not going to stay in retirement long. I knew that for a fact.
So at this point, what I could say is I'm just a good resource, right? I'm a good resource.
Okay, we'll leave it there. But one more time, how would my guest who's interested in doing some of the succession planning, as you mentioned, and having those hard conversations to really lay out a roadmap? Share that contact information, that email and telephone number one more time, please.
Sure, it's Kathy Saloy. Email is KACOSALOY@gmail.com. Area code 504-495-8130. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, the Hustle Skirt podcast objective is to empower you to speak up and speak out, embrace change in your own vision, your mission, your purpose, and get fired up with your passion. Do something for me. Make sure to visit our website at www.persistencelane.com. All one word, www.persistencelane.com, where you can subscribe to the Hustle Skirt podcast. There's 9 different platforms that you can visit, from Apple's, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Amazon Music, Podchaser, iTunes, and Podbean. And in fact, while you at it, if you found this particular interview with Kathy Saloy wonderful today, on my podcast, would you kindly give us a rating at iTunes? Or if you would simply tell a friend about the podcast and this interview today with Kathy, that would be a tremendous help. You're listening to the Hustle Skirt Podcast, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone, every day, with your host, Debra Gould. Kathy, until we meet again, make yourself a great weekend on purpose. And this was a wonderful interview. Thank you for the value of your time today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.